Welcome to Attack on TCG. Bancroft here with the Iron Lineage deck. So guys, in a previous video, I did a Goku Lineage, a pure Goku Lineage deck, which I enjoyed a lot, but the only thing about it is that it didn't do too well when we took it to a few tournaments, which was expected, unfortunately. So after doing a few tweaks, this is actually, I think, my second or third adjustment to it. But I changed the leader out, guys, to the Son Goku, who eventually awakens to the Legacy Barrier Son Goku card. But let's go back to the first form of him. So, when I attack with this particular leader card, I can take one Goku Lineage from my hand, put it into the drop area, and which will allow me to draw 2 additional cards. And because this is an auto effect, even though the attack gets negated, I still get the effect of it, which is pretty nice. And once I get down to 4 life, I can awaken this leader, which will allow me to take 2 of my energies and put them back into the active position. Once this card has awakened, his new effect, when he attacks, I get to draw 1 card, select 1 Goku Lineage on my field, and both this leader card and that said card get an additional 5,000 power for the duration of this turn. In my opinion, that's better than the Super Saiyan 4 leader I was using, just because I always get this. It's not if I have less life than the other player. So I think this adjustment gives that advantage in the long game. Let's flip over to what this deck consists of, guys. So I am still using 4 of the Successor of Hope cards, which allow me to search my deck for any Goku Lineage with a swap feature of a cost 5 or less. So pretty early on game, it's clutch if I don't have the right cards to play, or even late game if I'm trying to get that build I need. I run this with the 4 Bardock, the Progenitor cards, which I've learned is a beautiful card even more than it was already. So for a 1 cost, it has a swap 2 feature. With the auto, I take 1 of my life and add it to my hand. But the swap feature allows me to switch them out for a Goku Lineage cost of 2. Well, apparently, I can swap this card and keep it in my hand to protect them, actually. So I can bring them out to the field, take 1 of my life, attack my opponent, and then turn around and put that right back into my hand and keep them safe for the next turn. It's pretty crazy, and I love this card for it. So, what do I swap him into? One of 2 options. The first is the promo Scrambling Assault Son Goten card. This card is beautiful in its own way because when it attacks, and like I said, even if it gets negated, the auto still goes off. I get to draw the top 3 cards of my deck, choose 1 of them, put it into my hand, and put the other 2 cards at the bottom of my deck. So it's a free draw card that allows me to draw whatever I want in a sense of the 3 cards I get. Unfortunately, he doesn't have swap. So once I bring him out, that is it for him. He can no longer advance. But the ability to get cards from his attack, a card that I could choose in a sense, is nice enough. Now I do have a swap card for it as well, which is the Intrepid Dynasty Son Gohan card, which has a swap 3 and barrier. Now, once you get past a cost 1 card that was swapped to a cost 2 card was swapped, it now actually costs to do swap. So for him, it costs 2 yellow energy just to swap him to a 3 card. But in the long run, you are saving 1 energy cost to bring out a 3 card with swap. Yep, and that's it for him actually. Now, my 3 swap, I play the Indomitable Dynasty Super Saiyan Son Goku card, who has barrier as well, and has the swap 4 mechanic, which also still costs only 2 yellow energy. So far, it's not bad, because now once he's on the field next turn, I spend 2 energy to bring out my 4 cost card. And just to let you guys know, with the swap feature, I can attack my opponent, swap him out, the new card comes out into an active state, and then attack again if I wanted to. And if I had enough energy, I could just swap them out again. But my 4th cost with Goku Lineage is the Discovery Dynasty Son Gohan. Now, he is a swap 5, which now upgrades from a 2 cost to a 3 cost. So it costs 3 energy to upgrade him from a 4 into a 5 cost card. And he does have barrier as well, so keeping these cards alive longer comes in handy. But if he comes out due to the ability of a swap feature, I get to draw 2 additional cards, which could go into my hand for combos or additional plays later down the road. Now, his swap 5 that I use is the Super Saiyan Blue Son Goku at the Apex. He does have a swap 8 feature, which is a cost of 4 to do. He does have barrier, which keeps him alive longer. But this card is beautiful because of the double strike feature and his auto feature. When I play this card, if my leader is a Goku Lineage, which mine was, I get to choose one of my opponent's battle cards and KO it. Of course, that card, if it has barrier, I can't KO it. But if my opponent's not playing any cards with barrier, most likely they're going to lose a card on the field, which helps you in the long game because then they can't use that card for potential combos. Or if it's a blocker, that blocker's gone for you to do an attack. Now, I do play a super combo card in this deck. It is the Unwavering Solitary Shigesh, which does a 10,000 plus combo, but his feature is that when I use this card as a combo, I can play 1 Saiyan from my hand with cost of 3 or less and put them into the battle area. Now, I like to combo this one with the said card from earlier, the Super Saiyan Goku, because then I can just turn around, attack with him, and then upgrade him to the Gohan card if that is in my hand at the moment. But there is a card that shuts this feature down, unfortunately. And if you come across, if correct, Konoha, she stops the ability to play cards from your hand to the field with super combos, if correct. By doing that, it obviously shuts down the second feature of this card. So I recommend, if you're running a Lineage Goku, having, I think it's Plucky Pan in your side deck for tournaments may come in handy. But in my experience for tournaments so far that we've done, I've only come across 2 or 3 decks that actually play that card. So far it's been a pretty nice play. Now, as I said, this deck is called the Iron Lineage deck for a reason. So those are all my Goku Lineage cards I have. So let's go back to the beginning real quick. So back to the Bardock card, which is a 1 cost energy. With this card, I can bring out my next card for completely free, which is Jean, Family of Justice. And she's a blocker, and like I said, it's free as long as I have a Bardock card on my field. So if I pull it off, play Bardock, play her to the field for free. All right, nice. If I happen to have 2, I can play both of them on the field. So she's good at keeping things alive. Now, with the same Bardock card, if I go to attack, let's say if I attack with my leader, my opponent doesn't negate the attack, so in the attack I combo with Bardock Iron of Will. Now my card has a plus 10,000 to its power, combat's over. Because I combo with this card and I have a Bardock on the field, I can then just turn around and evolve that guy into the Iron Will itself. What makes this card so great is that it has double strike and blocker. Also, it does have an auto feature that during my turn, the combo was the auto feature. But yeah, so blocker with double strike, 20,000. Not a lot of things can get past that unless your opponent is willing to do some combos. But wait, Chris, if you attack with it, doesn't it go into rest? Well, it does, unless you play that with the Planet Vegeta card. So now I can attack freely with my apes with double strike, and then turn around and put them right back into active state once my turn is over with. Just using this as a system itself, I think boosts the ability of this deck tremendously. Because not only am I relying on the leader for its draw feature from the Lineage cards, but if I can pull this off, I should have a great hand with an overwhelming attack force. So, I do play a few Overwhelm cards. The first one we go over will be Dimensional Banner Fu, which is Overwhelm 5 for a cost of 1. So I could choose to remove 5 cards from my drop zone, put them to the warp to bring him out with a cost of 1 energy. He has double strike, and when I play this card, I choose one of my opponent's battle cards and sends that said card to the warp zone. Then I turn around and attack with this card. So I'm removing potentially, like I said, once again, a blocker or a potential combo card that my opponent may have to prevent my attacks from going through. But that isn't the only Overwhelm card I play. I also play the Scientist Food card, which costs a little more. He's Overwhelm 7. So if I were to play the Dimensional Banisher Fu, I don't just remove said the 5. Let's say I had 7 in my drop zone. All 7 go away. So you have to remove the whole drop zone, but it has to at least contain the amount of cards that it says on the card. So in this case, this one's a 7. He does have double strike as well, but his auto is that if I play him as an Overwhelm card, I get to draw 2 cards. So once again, it adds more cards to my hand, and for a 25 attack with double strike isn't bad either. Now, with any card you play with the Overwhelm feature, guys, that card will go away at the end of your turn, though. So it's not anything you get to keep permanently. It's just a nice little quick push. Now, I do have a few cards help keep my non-barrier cards or even keep me alive to a degree. So we'll start with the Master Roshi, Forge of Will. I can play this card from my hand as a counter attack, and that's it. My opponent's attack is negated, and they can't go any further. Now, if they have an auto, that still goes off, but I'm not taking any more damage or wasting any cards with combos. But that isn't the only one I have. I also have the Flying Nimbus card, which in this case does the same thing as Roshi. It negates the attack, but I can turn around and discard one additional card, yellow card from my hand, and by doing that, my opponent only gets one more attack with a battle card. So just kind of go over this card a little bit more. If my opponent attacked with a battle card and I did this card, they can still attack with their leader and another battle card. But if they attack with their leader first and I did this play, then they can only attack with one more card after that. So timing's key. So you just kind of gotta look for the opportunities when you got them. I do play 2 more cards in this deck, guys. It is the Bad Ring Laser. Now, this card comes in clutch when it comes across a Cold Bloodlust or anything that were to negate my attacks. It is a counter by place 1 yellow card from my hand to the drop zone to negate any counter card. So it takes 2 cards from my hand, discarding another card, but preventing someone from ruining my system or from ruining my attacks come in handy. But guys, that is what I consider the Iron Lineage deck for right now. Hopefully this deck does well in the tournaments I take it to, and if not, we'll find more tweaks that do to it. If you guys see anything that I should adjust for it, because I'm trying to keep the Lineage factor here to a degree, and I don't want to break it down to it's just like 2 Lineage cards. But if you guys see anything that I could do to make this deck better in its own, place in the comments, let us know what's going on. If you enjoyed this video, guys, click that like button, subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of views. We're trying to bring out a deck build video every Monday. And like as always, George Quinn, if you're watching, we'd love to have you on the show.